Colossians 2 for the Sabbath School lesson number 10 and 11, March 2026. Why did Laodicea completely omit Colossians 2, 6 to 11 in the Sabbath School lesson number 10? Is it important to gain some assemblage of appreciation of Colossians 2, 6 to 11 and Paul's warnings? Verses 6 to 11 states the following: As ye have therefore received Christ Jesus the Lord, so walk ye in him. In him equals the Alpha and the Omega. Revelation 22:13, eternal righteousness of he who made. Rooted and built up in him and established in the faith, eternal righteousness by faith, as ye have been taught, abounding therein with thanksgiving. Beware, lest any man spoil you through philosophy and vain deceit. That's the Neoplatonism, God the Eternal Son, fundamental number 4, and Trinity, fundamental belief number 2. After the tradition of men, after the rudiments of the world, and not after Christ. The Omega of Deadly Heresies, Fundamentals 2 and 4. For in him dwelleth all the fullness of the Godhead bodily. Alpha and Omega. And ye are complete in him, John 1:1, which is the head of all principality and power. The power which is the head of all principalities and power is who? Christ. And is what? The eternal righteousness of he who made, the Alpha and the Omega, not the Omega of Deadly Heresies. The eternal righteousness of he who made is the Alpha and the Omega, is the head of over every principality and power, and therefore you will now immediately recall the 7 sons of Sceva. Ask yourself, why would verses 6 to 11 from Colossians 2 be overlooked in the Sabbath School lesson, when it's the entire point must align with the first angel's warning of Revelation 13:8, the Lamb slain from before the foundation of the world? The doctrine of Christ from Hebrews 6? No, Laodicea, who are miserable, poor, blind, and naked, wouldn't see it. They cannot see it. See what? The spiritualism of the Omega of Deadly Heresies. Unrepented, it's the unpardonable sin. That's how deadly is the Omega of Deadly Heresies. Are you getting it yet? Sabbath School lesson number 11. Peruse through the lesson. Here's the link. So how do you live heavenly minded? In Colossians 3. First, one must know why there was war in heaven. Revelation 12. And immediately you should see the importance of the Lamb slain from before the foundation of the world, and the connection to Revelation 13 and 2 beasts of the 1290 days and the first angel's warning over the doctrine of Christ, Hebrews 6, right? Which is summarized as what? Law of 2, John 1:1. The lesson on Monday applies righteous by faith, but not eternal righteousness by faith. Both anger and wrath describes God's righteous response to sin. God's anger to sin must include the unpardonable sin, the third angel's warning, right? Doesn't that involve Colossians chapter 2 and the omitted text? Yes, yes, yes. Ending earthliness, isn't that God the Eternal Son, fundamental number 4, doctrine of the Roman Catholic Church, the purple hag, making sense to you yet? Today, lessons emphasize slander. Blah. But what's the response of the first beast in Revelation 13 to he who made in heaven anyway? Over what issue? Blasphemy. Blasphemy about what? The Alpha and the Omega status of he who made in John 1:1. Have a read of Revelation 13 again. Then read it again. Gaining a knowledge of Christ through his word transforms us into the same image from glory to glory. One cannot obtain the image from glory to glory as noted in John 12, with comparison back to Isaiah 6 in glory. There, righteous by faith. No, not at all. It's impossible. The only way is eternal righteous by faith, not righteous by faith. Do you see that? Wednesday. This lesson talks about many called, few chosen. That actually takes you to Revelation 17:14. The lesson omits faithful. Right? Faithful to what? Eternal righteousness, of course. The context of Revelation 17:14 is what? Oh, it's the first angel and the 10 kings of the purple beast. And then there is the transition to the first beast of Revelation 13. And you are in what? The first 2 woes of the apocalypse. Right? Also means at this time which is the sealing time of the 144 and the seal of God, Revelation 7. Right? There's no mention of the first angel's context in the lesson. Is that correct? In terms of righteous by faith, absolutely anyone can apply the 8 qualifications. But then there's the divine doctrine of eternal righteous by faith, 2 Timothy 1:9, Revelation 13:8, John 1:1, etc. But the 8 qualifications under righteousness by faith is fine, but is not as important as unpardonable sin. And God's hatred of sin is the unpardonable sin, Matthew 12:31-32. Friday, readers, surely you should be able to answer the 3 discussion questions at the end of the lesson.